Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, right away, guys, I will say I have been sick most of this week, unfortunately. Just got like a bad cold after the great times I had at Universal and at the NFL HQ West and at the TCL game. I don't believe it was any of those events, actually. I think it could have been the Universal for my son. Got sick. And then I got sick, then the family got sick, so it was a tumbling effect. But the really cool thing is I'm finally getting better now. Started feeling this morning like I'm back to normal. I got a little bit of a headache still, so I do apologize if I go a little slow. Just wanted to give that caveat before getting started. Now, let's get started. All right. First and foremost, we do have a couple things just want to let you know about, and that is a lot of things were announced at Samsung's recent event. So Samsung just had a developer conference. What that is kind of letting you know more about the internal components and pieces that are coming in the future, as opposed to hardware being announced. So one of the biggest things was they're finally releasing a new Exynos chip. They skipped a year. Last year was the Exynos 2200, and it didn't perform very well comparing to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 at the time. It just was very behind, and it caused Samsung to take a year break. And it was only 1 year. It wasn't like a lot of people thought it might be, multiple years. Although to be fair, I guess you could say it's 2 years because this chip isn't coming out till 2025 with the S24. And this will be in S24s in Europe and other countries like India or other countries, basically outside of North America and Korea, where it will have more than likely Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, I'm guessing. But how does this compare? Well, it's significantly better than the Snapdragon 2200 that was worse. So I thought the best way to show you is to kind of compare to it. So the biggest thing that they hyped up is that it's 70% faster with the CPU. It has a much heavy load on AI. So it's really big on how much better the AI processing is. Obviously, Samsung's really going to be focusing on AI moving forward. And this will do a lot of things from speeding up the camera processing to speeding up even Google Assistant and how it works on there. Everything that needs an algorithm or an AI will be faster. But the other thing is that this is going to be AMD's third chip on there for the GPU, and it's supposed to be considerably better than the previous one, which was nothing to write home about, to be honest. AMD had done 2 GPUs on there before, didn't really do that well, so I mean, here's hoping that this one is much better. But the thing that worries me a little bit on that front is that we didn't really get to hear a lot about it, right? So that's kind of what gets me a little bit nervous is just that. Now they do have another specifically designed. I think they still call it an NPU. I'm trying to remember, and my head is banging as I do. It's an NPU, I want to say, but it basically their new camera chip, the V, or sorry, not the V920. Or sorry, the V920 is an auto chip. That's something different. But for the AI, it will reduce the shutter lag, so that'll be really good. And it's able to process better even on the zoom, which Samsung is currently the best one when it comes to zoom. So that's really good news. Then we get to another thing, which is that we're going to be getting a improvement in CPU mostly, right? So how does that compare? Well, I thought I'd bring up this. So this is a comparison between Samsung's last processor and this year's current processor. So compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, how much better is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 comparing to the Exynos 2200 that came out last year. So, in comparison to it, it is a noticeable difference. And 2.2, it was a 66% increase. So, if it's a 70% increase, that bodes well for the CPU. And let's concentrate on that because, again, all we know is about the CPU. We do not know how the GPU, the memory, everything else will affect it. Although the UX is mainly powered by that AI algorithm part. So that should see a considerable increase. But again, we don't have an exact. I guess they said it was 14x, which, yeah, that's pretty good right there if we see that. But let's wait for that one. All right. So in CPU core performance, we're seeing a 26% above what the Exynos 2200 did. And then we're seeing a 44% increase in the multi-core. Samsung is saying up to. So if it's up to 70%, let's say that that's more along the lines of a multi-core processor instead of the single core. We don't know what tests they did to test this out either, so kind of hard to say. And by the way, the GPU is just ridiculously different. So that's why I really can't stress it. I want to see what the GPU is going to be on this AMD one because that is so important on here. Um, but in terms of the CPU, and this is why you never trust Geekbench's GPU. Jesus, I just saw that. Sorry. So in terms of the CPU, it looks like if we can expect the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and Gen 3 to probably be a 20% increase, that's typically what Snapdragon does. Maybe they blow it out the water this year. Who knows? But typically, a CPU difference in Snapdragon is anywhere from 10% to 30%. So let's go with 20% to be safe. If it's a 20% difference on here, theoretically, that could be right in line with this new Exynos chip. So it looks like Samsung is promising to be about the same as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or to be about a little bit higher, possibly. Very interested to see this. I hope that the year off really allowed them to do better. And it sounds like, again, their AI component is really good. And we've seen what Google can do with a Snapdragon processor and an AI. It literally is what makes the Pixel 8 so much better than the Pixel 7 is a lot of the AI components. Now, eventually those could all come to the 7, but that is one of the main things that stand out. So I wanted to highlight that just because I felt it was really important. And although we might not be getting it in the States this year, there is still talk about Samsung eventually moving towards Exynos in the end because they're literally seeing Samsung makes processors for both Apple and Google that have done this. They have gone away from other manufacturers and did their own, and it's been fruitful. Google's is obviously a little bit different because they're going to Samsung technically, but it really is just having the hardware done by the person is an interesting concept to make it better, and it's very curious to see how this will pay off. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm glad that we're seeing better numbers. That it looks like it'll be an actual jump this time, and at least more comparable than it was last year. Hey, I just want to stop the news real quick. I do have thank you so much, John Krupp, for the super chat donation. Here's $5 to get some headache meds. Feel better, dude. Thank you, thank you. I should have probably taken like an aspirin before starting. I was just trying to get all the stuff ready, and especially with that CPU one, I wanted to spend the time with it, so I wanted to get that ready. That's why I'm 5 minutes late too. But yeah, thank you so much for your support, sir. I will try to get through this. But yeah, drinking coffee and what do you call it? Propel, some electrolytes. Hopefully, it'll get me through this. Cheers. All right. Then we had the only hardware announced for the event shown at the event, I guess, because technically a lot of this is hardware and software. But the Galaxy Smart Tag 2. Now, I do have two Galaxy Smart Tags. I got the Plus version, which now they just have one version, and that's just the two. And comparing to it, I'm sorry I'm saying so much today. I think it's because my headache, and I'm just like, yeah. But with this, it's a very different looking version. I will say that, right? Instead of this, we went to this. Which, what do you guys think about the design change? Let me know that first and foremost on the comment section. What do you guys think about the design change going from a little one to a much bigger one? Like, I feel like this is good for luggage. Great for luggage, great for backpacks, great for all that kind of stuff. Not good for, say, a wallet. Not good for, say, a remote control. Not like they're. I think about what Tile has, and also by Apple's small design, how many accessories have been made for it. And those are the kind of things that I'm like, man, I just want something better than the Samsung. Like have like a family of them maybe. Have one that looks like this, one that's really small and maybe doesn't have the ultra wide band. Like, like you can minimize it to have less things, but if it's small enough, people might buy that instead. And have an ultra thin one to put in a wallet. Like that's I think you need those three in this day and age. And yeah, like I want one that I could, put on my remote like I do for Tile. Tile I have the little sticker ones that I just pop right onto my remotes. So if I don't ever know where they are because of my kids or whatever, I can just ask Google to find it and it'll ring it. And that's a really useful feature. So I really wish Samsung would do those to really get competitive. Um, but they did do some improvements. So the two biggest ones are going to be it's now pretty much waterproof at IP67. So you could theoretically go like, in the water with this no problem. It could be submerged no problem and last and that might be really good if you happen to be going underwater like that. It's a good thing for that, right? Still, IP never means that it's good for salt water, so it can only last for so long in that, but might be a new added benefit to it. I would definitely trust it more in further off places with it, so something. Second thing is going to be that you really have a substantially longer battery life. So this one is up to 700 days in its new power saving mode. But even if you don't have it in its power saving mode, it's 500 days. So a little under 2 years here in about what a year and 5 months, about a year and 5 months around there. How much? Yeah, yeah. 200 is about 160. Yeah. Yeah, about 5 months on there. So 1 year and 5 months or 700. I haven't read enough of this one, so I do need to read a little bit more because as far as I can tell, I haven't heard if the battery is replaceable. So if it's not, that kind of sucks. But yeah, a lot of these things are like that. Tile, I that's one thing I wish all of them were battery replaceable, and not all of them are. It's something that I'm just seeing that like they want these to be tossed out. They want you to keep buying new ones, and it's I get the formula. It's just it sucks. Like why can't I just buy something and that's it? Like I'm recommending your product, but you just want to keep it on a rotation that I keep buying these. Um, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't like that I have to buy so many tiles, and that's my one of choice that I've done before AirTags came out. I've used tile, and tile does have its issues. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still nice to have. It really is nice when I was on a business trip. When was it? PAX West. When during my birthday time, and I was able to look up the suitcase and be like, oh, it looks like it just got here because I got a notification because we were waiting to see like, wait, has our luggage come yet? And I was able to pull it up on my tile app and see and like try to locate it, and it said, um, has hasn't not able to be found, which usually happens when it's underground, right? When the airplane is taking it and it's too low, that means it basically cannot be found at that time. And then, but you can tell it notify me as soon as it's available again. And as soon as it got to other people with phones and with all that kind of stuff, it started going off and it told me, hey, your luggage is now found and it's at this location, which was very close to me. So I knew, oh, there's just started putting it on the carousel. So that's how the process works. I wish we had. Google is supposed to come out with something like this. It'll work for all Androids, kind of like how Apple does it. And we're gonna, and a lot of products will use this technology. Google isn't. Google might make some of their own, but they're making it to like, hey, if you have an Android device, this will work across Android, and every Android phone in the world will be a beacon. Again, just like Apple. The difference is when you travel around the world, the Android version will be superior because it's everyone has an Android outside of the U.S. typically. In the U.S. though, obviously, you're still going to be more. You're going to have more iPhones, but I mean, still about like I want to say 36% is Android now, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I remember that from last year, but don't know if that went down again. It could be 32%, 30% by now. All right, this was the big one that I was looking forward to hearing about new camera sensors coming from Samsung, and I got what I wanted and then what I didn't want. So I don't know how to feel about this. Samsung announced two 1-inch sensors, but the main one that would probably go on a Galaxy is a 432 megapixel sensor. So, the reason it's 1 inch is because of the fact of how many megapixels it has. It's not like, yes, it is a 1 inch, nearly, but why? Why, Samsung? Why? Um, yeah, I don't know. I we don't need that many megapixels. So basically, at this point, what I'm guessing they're going to be doing is this. The idea behind this, and I'm very curious if I'll be right, by the way. What I'm guessing Samsung is doing with this is right now every smartphone in the world uses pixel bending, right? So a 48 megapixel sensor, a 50 megapixel sensor, it bends down to a 12 megapixel sensor. With 400 megapixels plus 432, you're not going to bend down to 12. I think they're going to make it to the point where it bends down to 50. So, what that will essentially do is you are going to get a ridiculously detailed photo, even if you crop in like crazy. Like that, I guess, is this. And with a 1 inch sensor, it's going to be amazing at bokeh effect. It's going to be amazing in low light. I just don't know why it needs to be 432 megapixels. I might have just answered my own question, but do you see like why I'm just like, you don't need that many megapixels, Samsung. You don't. You really don't. It's going to 10x most sensors on the market for megapixels, which is insane. Um, by the way, with that big of a megapixel sensor, they don't need zoom cameras at all. You do not need zoom cameras at all with that many megapixels. Maybe that's it. They're gonna go back to one camera to rule them all. One thing that I think I've said this last week, but or no, I was off last week. So I have been off since the Pixel 8 announcement. One thing, very sad, I was wrong about the $900. It was $1,000. So even the Pro got up a bump up in price, which we only thought the original Pixel 8 would get the $100 increase and not the Pro. Very sad about that. But the one thing I will say, the fact that they have a 50 megapixel ultra wide gets me so excited because I cannot wait to show off so many amazing ultra wide photos and say, I wish my Galaxy could do this. Because man, do I just want Samsung to wake the F up and just be like, oh, people care about the ultra wide. Maybe we should upgrade that. When's the last time we upgraded it? 7 years ago, you say. Yeah, let's upgrade it. Sure. But yeah. Um, so yeah. Uh, but believe it or not, that many megapixels was the good news because there is a bad news. I can't believe I'm going to say this. As of right now, it looks like the Galaxy Fold 6, for some reason, will continue to use the same camera on the Fold 4 and the Fold 5. They didn't learn their lesson from these poor sales, did they? And that's why I don't believe this. I do not believe this because of the fact that I cannot believe they're going to keep this same camera after these sales were so bad for them. Samsung sales were bad for the Fold 5. I'm telling you that right now. There's a reason why they continuously keep trying to pay influencers to talk about the Fold 5. Hey, we'll give you, whatever kind of stuff. They're trying to throw whatever at them. And honestly, I'm still pushing the Fold 4 unless the Fold 5 gives you a better trade in and it masks out, get the Fold 4. But I just from what this article says that it looks like that it won't be until the Fold 7 where they finally upgrade the camera to the one we currently have on the S23 Ultra. The Fold 7, that will be 2 years from now. 2025 is when you have to wait for the Fold to have a flagship camera. I, I don't. I hope these sales change their mind, and I hope they realize how stupid that would be, because man, sorry, I got something stuck in my hair. Man, it like, oh man, if they thought these sales were bad, unless their big thing is like, we'll do one each year, we'll pull an Apple, we'll release next year, we'll give them the S Pen built in the Fold. That should satisfy them for a year. They're not wrong. Then the final year, the Fold, when the Fold 7 comes out, then we'll give them the pen and the camera. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But I'm very, very disappointed by this. Hopefully it's dead wrong, especially after their sales. All right. One thing I thought was kind of cool, this is getting more and more common. We've seen both Apple and Google announce something similar like this previously, but it looks like driver's license are coming more and more integration in the US. So Samsung Wallet is going to be starting with theirs too, and it looks like it will be just be something that we're going to be seeing moving forward. Samsung got it in Arizona and Iowa. I and Google just announced one they got at I/O. I forgot what state it was. I think it was one state. And I think Apple is in like a couple of states as well. So it's good that we're finally getting driver's license on our phones. Like it has to be the encryption. I trust Samsung Wallet more than Google Wallet. I think I've told you guys before. Samsung Wallet is powered by a 256-bit encryption on your phone, which not all Androids have. It's secured offline. It is the most secured wallet system there is, followed by Apple, then followed by Google. So I trust it more than any of the other ones. It's definitely where I would trust my ID not to get hacked, but we'll have to see what happens. All right, and then this one is just hearsay from interviews and that kind of stuff. but apparently they are taking a look at 5 years of security updates in the future, which is great. I've I clarified this actually the other day when someone was asking. There is a killer deal right now from Newegg on TikTok for an Acer tablet that's going for like $50. Really inexpensive tablet, right? It does not have any more new updates though. You cannot get the latest version of Android on it. Obviously, it's an older tablet. I think the last version it has on it is Android. Was it Android 10? I think on there or Android 9. I think that was one of those two, right? So you're not getting a new version of Android on there. And people were like, "Oh, well, that means like it's not getting security updates, or it's not getting up. You can't even update the. You're not getting any updates. It's very vulnerable." it, some people think of updates and they think of more of Windows terms, and they think of the scary propaganda that Apple's put out there. Here's what it really is: you actually get security updates mainly um, through your Google Play Store. As long as you're getting Google Play Store updates, that keeps all your apps safe. The ways that people can get to your electronics are more than likely through your apps or through text messaging. Very few rely on emails. Since it's a tablet, you're not getting text messages, so you don't have to worry about text attacks. Also, text attacks are more vulnerable for Apple because of how iMessage works. That's why a lot of the text message attacks you always see are very successful are through iOS. So, here's the thing with this. When it comes to updates, security updates are more useful than anything else. And then you want to also be able to rely on the App Store always getting updated, which Google Store does it themselves. It's one thing Google moved away from a couple of years ago. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years ago, where they realized we're just going to start having all of our apps, like our Google Assistant, and all of these things we do, like Find My Phone, and all of these little things, and just start bringing them updates separately. Because what was happening back in the day was carriers were getting to control when you got updates. And that pissed Google off because it's like, it's not our fault these updates are getting delayed. It's these carriers that keep doing it. And, the carriers didn't care because they have no incentive for long-term updates. If anything, they are anti-long-term updates. They don't want you to they don't want the old phone to get the updates. They want you to buy a new phone. So it was a very annoying thing, and Google just was like, okay, well, screw this. We're just going to give updates through the Play Store and through security updates and that kind of stuff. And so it was able to be done by Google a lot more than it was by even the manufacturer, because so many manufacturers weren't updating it as well. So that is the story behind it. And one thing that Samsung is looking at is not supporting Android versions, but supporting more security updates. So 5 years plus of security updates. And that is being talked about right now, mainly probably after Google promised 7 years of Android updates on Pixels. So, yeah. All right. Now, speaking of Pixels, I did want to note this because this is kind of big for Google, and it also kind of puts a perspective on how much ahead Samsung and Apple are, specifically, in the US. So, Pixels pretty much only sold in the US for the most part. There are a few other countries, and they're expanding continuously, but majority of sales come from the US. So, that being said, that being said, 10 million came out last year in terms of sales for Pixel. That is huge considering they've sold 40 since 2016. So it was an exponential growth. Google's Pixel is doing very well going on last year's momentum. That has to do, I think, with a lot with the A being the best budget phone you can get now, whether it be the 7A, 6A, The 8A will probably be great. Like all of the A series is doing very well. And then you have really good priced flagship phones. So I think these are going to be really standing out and continuing this trend. And 10 million to go from that increase again, 40 million since 2016, 10 million just last year. But what that also reveals to you is Google is vying for third place right now. I don't know how many sales OnePlus has now, but they were number three for a while. This is pretty interesting because, yeah, it really is something that since LG left, there has been such a vacuum that Pixel, who's going for the number three spot, sold 10 million. So, again, it's very interesting to kind of see how it'll keep going and keep moving forward. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's very interesting, and man, I just hope that Google keeps going because we need competition. We need this. It's something that is very bad in the US, and it's why Samsung and Apple have stayed more stagnant over the past 5 years because no one has been able to challenge their positions. If you want to get an Android, you get a Samsung. If you want to get an iPhone, you get an iPhone. That's it, basically. That's it in the U.S. for the most part. It's very few that have come in and gone against it. So very happy that Google's doing way better since last year. It stepped up a lot. Hopefully they'll continue to do so. Oh, I just saw another super chat donation. Dear Samsung, stop charging $2,000 and giving us a potato camera. If you want your Fold to be considered a flagship, give us a flagship camera. I mean, the Note always had the best camera of the year when it was out. Just saying, Samsung, and you charged a lot less for the Note than you did the Fold. So, yeah. All right. Thank you for the other super chat donation, John. By the way, I do appreciate it. Sorry, my nasal spray is going to probably be needed again, and yeah, I'm feeling all the stuff, all the good Dayquil, the nasal spray, all that stuff starting to wear off. I feel like let's keep getting through this. All right, Google Messages just got an update online, and now it's getting to be more of the full-on chat service that Google Chat has always been, and then Hangouts was before, but it's catching up now. So now on Google Messages, you can do all this from your computer. You can not only you can do emojis, you can do stickers, gifs, and attach photos, all through regular SMS from your computer to your phone. They sync, and you can send everything. This is really good. I actually use this not this specific service, but I use the Windows version of it, Phone Link, to use it, and it just really works well. Not to mention, I have to do a video on that still because this is a feature I've been using for the past month or two, and I've absolutely fallen in love with it. Nearby Share is now in beta on Windows. I think it's still in beta. I think it's still in beta. Let's see. Move this over here. It doesn't tell me if it's in beta actually now. No, maybe it's official now. It's 1.0. So I think it actually might be official now. Nearby Share, but Nearby Share is now on Windows. It's been out for a little bit. Like I said, I think I had it for 2 months now. It's awesome. I never have to. I used to have to use Samsung's Link Share to share a video, a high quality video. Now I don't have to do that anymore. I can just click Nearby Share, and it automatically always my computer is always visible to my contacts. So it automatically is just like, hey, do you want to send to your computer? Yes, and send all my photos and videos to my computer, high speed, full quality, no degradation. It's beautiful. It's really awesome, and I have to do a video on that one because that one's really, really just an amazing feature that I fall in love with over the past 2 months. All right. This one I thought I would let you guys know about because I am currently expecting to buy a new car next year. Currently have an EV. I'm probably gonna get a new EV. I don't want anything special per se. I just want to get more mileage. I got one of the early EVs back in 2019. Yeah, so I've had my car for 4 years now, And basically, the whole concept I was gonna do, or that I got, was I was paying $300 in gas. This was when gas prices weren't expensive, or weren't as expensive, I should say. They've always been pretty expensive. But this was in 2019, and I was driving about an hour and a half to work with traffic. So I thought, if I get an EV, I'm spending, I think it was 300, I want to say it was $360 a month on gas. That's how much I was spending when gas prices were cheaper. So they were that, right? I end up getting an EV that was only 125 miles, so not that much range. Uh, and I have had to be towed once in since I got in it since 2019 till now. I have had to be towed once to an EV station because my battery was dying, and I got so scared. It was like less than 5 miles, and it just started like low energy mode and all this. It was crazy. But I only ended up paying, the car note was 300, right? So I'm saving money, and this car has leather seats. It has heated seats. It has a sunroof that my daughter is now obsessed with. It has, all these things that are much nicer than the car that I had was lane assist, all that kind of stuff. All these kind of things that my old car didn't have, and I now pay $0 for gas since 2019. So it worked out for me, and the reason all this worked, by the way, was because I had a 220-volt charger in my, or sorry, plug in my garage at the time in my old condo, and it allowed me to just plug in. And no, what I was feared mongered before about was, oh, your electric bill is going to go crazy. Your electric bill is going to. There was no difference in my electric bill. None. No difference in my electric bill. So, and trust me, Mario tells me anytime there's a difference in my electric bill, I use too much AC. But yeah, so that is something that was very important, right? So this year I just want to get, next year I just want to get a better EP. This is the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because um is because of this. One, as of right now, you get your taxes back, or sorry, you get your tax credit back um after you purchase a car. What is going to happen in 2024 is, if your new car is eligible for this tax credit of 7,500, the dealership will now be able to just take it off instantly, and essentially they get the money back from the government, so they can give it to you now right away at time of purchase. I'm a little afraid of this, and I just wanted to let you guys know about this, for anyone that's considering an EV, to let them know about this. What I'm afraid is that car manufacturers might try to keep this for themselves. And by the way, if they submit it, you can't get it. So if they say, "Oh yeah, yeah, we took 7,500 off," you can't get it. You can then try to submit it yourself because they say you already got it. So I am afraid that cars, although they're on the downturn right now, right? They're on the downturn right now. Cars are cheaper right now than they were at the beginning of the year because the sales have been bad. So cars are cheaper now than they were at the beginning of the year because, sorry, not new cars, used cars. There's a lot more used cars in the market than there was at the beginning of the year. Trust me, I've been following it, and they are more affordable now. Than they were at the beginning of the year. I'm talking, the cars that I'm looking at have gone down 8,000 to $2,000 a minimum. I think is the least drop I've seen. So a considerable amount, really. I mean, at least for me, when I'm looking at a $30,000 car, I can now get it for 22,000. Like, that's great progress for me. Still can't buy it right now, but trying to next year. And I'm planning on getting a used car, but if I get this tax credit, I could get a new car, as long as they don't try to screw me over and be like, oh, Well, this car was 35,000 new. Now it's 42,500. And basically it's going to be the original price again. It's just they're getting their tax credit. So be very careful with this, guys. Just letting you know, that's my PSA for. I just want you to know they can take it off. It's a whole thing that in your booklet when you buy a new car you might not pay attention to. If you buy an EV, you need to pay attention to this because this should be taken off of the tag price, not of, oh, let's add on all of the extended warranty and all the stuff that you don't need. Never buy the extended warranty, by the way. Um, all the stuff that you don't need, and then oh, look at that! It came out to be about the same amount of money. Be very careful out there. I say this from someone that has won against car salesmen and that has gotten duped by car salesmen. When I've been trying to help out others. I have been lucky enough to always been successful in terms of getting a way cheaper price, way better pricing for myself. But I have had my brother, mom, and when I was a kid, I got duped, um, paying way more for cars than we should have. So I tried to learn the trades. I tried to learn that kind of stuff. And just one thing I always like to let people know: be careful out there because, yeah, you they will try to get you. So yeah. All right, that was the news, guys. Now let's get to your questions. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer before the end of the show. One more thing I want to let you guys know, and I want to get your guys info about who's going to be shopping Prime Day, Best Buy sales, Newegg sales, and all that kind of stuff. Because I am thinking about doing a video tomorrow morning, and just putting it out there for like the 10 best deals you can get this week, and just kind of putting that out there. And letting you guys know about them. Let me know if you guys would watch that video, if you guys be interested in it, and I'll put that video out. But yeah, I'll put out like best Prime Day deals. Sorry, I'm just really feeling it now. Best Prime Day deals, best Newegg, best Best Buy, best Target deals. All the best deals. I'm gonna pick 10 to 20, and that'll be it. And that'll be the video. Like best 20 deals you can get this week. So thinking about doing that video. Let me know if I do it. I'm probably gonna stay up till midnight, or probably start working at midnight. So I'll probably be staying up till like 2 a.m. But let me know what you guys think, and if you guys would want to watch that, then I'll make it. So yeah, that's simple. All right, guys, let's get to all of your questions now. Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Kevin Hawth. Is that the Kevin? That's not the Kevin that I used to work with back in the day, is it? Let me know. I used to work. I thought his last name was that. I don't know. Let me know. Question. I'm thinking about getting a Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. Um, any input for the first watch? Also, S23 Ultra. I've been using with One UI 6 beta version since V5. Works perfectly. Awesome. Um, I love the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. I have had no issues with it. It still lasts a solid 2 days for me. So I've been happy with that. It's not 3 days that the Galaxy Watch 6 5 Pro was, but man, do I miss having this. My son even got to like be obsessed with it the other day. I always put him to bed, and he always tries. He's a little sneaky boy like his daddy, but he noticed the watch and he started like spinning it, and he was like, "Oh my god, this is like so cool!" It's something about the tactile feel of this spin that I just absolutely love. Um, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm very very happy with the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. Never did a video on it after the unboxing, but very happy with it. I'm trading in my S20 Galaxy S22 Ultra to get the Pixel 8 Pro. Your thoughts? It's a different world outside of Samsung. My brother, I gave him a Razer, the Razer the Moto Razor Edge, or the Moto Razor Plus. Yeah, there you go. The Moto Razor Plus, and that one and he's going back to his Galaxy S21 FE. And I was like, "You're going back?" I'm like, "This phone is like what, 4 years newer than his phone?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "I never knew I was so loyal to Samsung until I tried to leave them." I didn't trade in his phone or anything like that, so he still had his old phone. So I'm going to be transferring everything back. But in reality, I'm going to see if there's like a really good deal on maybe like the Galaxy Flip 4. Um, I Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's a good deal on the Galaxy Flip 4. Hey, maybe even a trade in with the Galaxy Flip 5, and probably get that for him. Early Christmas present or something like that. But yeah, so gonna be probably doing that for him. But just something that like it's a different world. So and people don't know it till like even me. My main phone has always been a Samsung till this year. Till the very first time this year, I made it the Pixel Fold, right? Just got Android 14 on this, by the way, too. So this was my very first phone. That was my main phone, not my secondary phone, right? I always have two phones. Always have two phones. Um, and it was my very first time, and it didn't work. It just didn't work. One of the biggest things that has been doing this for over what is it, 11 years now? I've been doing this for over 11 years, going on 12 years, coming up next year. One of the things I didn't even realize how big of a difference it was with a Galaxy Watch and a non Samsung Android. I thought it would have worked the same or at least about the same. It wouldn't have been like how it was on iOS when I tested it out. And it really just wasn't as good. Like the alarm clocks don't sync. That is something that only does it with that. So the one advice I would say, which you're probably going to get a free Pixel Watch, I'm assuming if you pre-ordered it or did anything like that. But if you get I am now saying the Galaxy Watch you should only get if you have a Samsung phone. That's it. I didn't know how bad it was on other Androids. Um, then what I would also say is if you get a Pixel, you should get a Pixel Watch or maybe a Tick Watch or yeah, the Tick Watch I think was it. But yeah, like there are other Android watches that'll work great with your other Android phones. I just didn't know they were necessary, but they are. They definitely are. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I love the Pixel image quality. Again, I've said this before, but you can take a look. Go to my videos. Look at every thumbnail. 90%, 90% are shot by Pixel. Just that simple. They are. If that's not a testament, a non-sponsored, non-branded, like just straight up, I can be honest with you. I have used a Pixel to take my thumbnail shots on almost every, very few exceptions. The only other time I don't, by the way, it's not that I use another phone. I use a professional camera. um, the only other time, it's just it really is that good, and I think it's at least been for 4 or 5 years now. I think going on every thumbnail has been shot with a Pixel, because that good. The only ones that weren't, which I might be getting this camera again or the new version of it, was when I had a phone in the shots when I did this, like that kind of pose, and I was off to the side and had that kind of angle. Those ones were done with a different camera, but almost everything else was all Pixel. So Pixel takes amazing photos, and I think you'll be very amazed by that part of it. Very excited to try out the new Pixel 8 Pro for the ultra wide and the video quality. I'm very excited for that. Hopefully, it'll be good. Um, let's see. Hi, Ricky. I got a new iPhone SE 2 weeks ago on Thursday. From my eighth grade teacher. I love it so much. I have red model. Oh, nice. The red model is a nice red. Missed you last Sunday. Hey, yeah. No, I wish I could have been there. I was so like just tired after a full day. I mean, it was awesome to see influencers again. All my friends that are influencers, we're gonna meet up again. There's a Vegas event from Google on the 21st of this month. All right, I'll reveal it to you guys. I don't care. Not the event itself, but it's gonna be my first ever concert. I am in my, I can still say mid 30s. Yeah, I'm gonna say mid 30s. I'm in my mid 30s. I've never been to a concert. My best friend did not realize this, by the way. He was like, "No, you were at this concert with me." I was like, "No, I wasn't. I've never been. I've never been to a concert. My daughter has been to a concert, and I haven't as of right now." So yeah, never been to a concert. When people ask me why or whatever, I'm like, I never, and I live in LA, so I didn't seek it out. But I was like, I never just heard of, oh, this concert's coming into town, or this, bunch of people are going to put on a concert, and was like, oh, I want to see them. The most three that I've always probably would have wanted to see when I was younger was, or, well, four. Yeah, four, I'll say. Um, because there's only one rock band I would say I would really want to see. So for rap groups, or singers, Tupac, DMX. DMX was my favorite rapper of all time. So I definitely would have wanted to see him while he was alive. And then Ti. Um, and for Ti, I wasn't old enough at the time to probably go and see him. And then DMX and Ti were both in prison by the time I was in college, and I would have wanted to go see a concert with them. but and then Linkin Park, I just never got to see them. That was the one rock group I would have really loved to see. But this one's going to be a bunch of rock groups from the 90s and 2000s, so very excited. It's going to be in Vegas on the 21st, so I can't wait for that. Should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll be taking lots of photos and videos over there with the new Pixel, so it should be a lot of fun. All right. Just got an email that Disney prices are increasing to 140 a year. Ridiculous. Yeah, I got that email too. It works itself out to about $11 a month, if I remember correctly. Oh man, too expensive, man. These streaming services are getting way too crazy. I just downgraded my Sling TV. Um, I went over it with my wife. I was like, "Look, I figure we can save about $21 here. Am I right?" And like, channels we don't really watch anymore, and we agreed. So I'm like, good. That like literally pays for two other streaming services now. So yeah, it just, man, it adds up. It adds up. So yeah, I wish it was something different. Definitely need something to use for the wallet. The Smart Tag 2 is good for a keychain. Absolutely. I think it's good for a keychain, good for luggage, all those kind of things. But yeah, you need something for a wallet, or even smaller for a purse too. I guess you could put that on the strap part of a purse, but I don't know. Yeah, having to buy multiple tiles sounds kind of annoying instead of recharging or replacing the battery. Definitely. My ex was consistently looking her keys. The old Bluetooth tags were a disappointment. The best they could do was, "Yep, it's in the house." Made me want to tear my hair out, Lizzie. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, no, I mean they weren't perfect. Tile's gotten better now, but not as bad as before. Hey, a whole bunch of people, or a whole bunch of comments slaughtered. Everybody drink. Oh, sorry, man. I apologize for lying. Thank you for the warning. I see down below, Quiet Storm. I do know that. I'm gonna try to get through all these questions, and if you have a question, ask it now because I'm gonna get through these questions, and that'll be it. Gotta call it a day. Gotta go watch the kids. All right. Thinking of upgrading my wife to a Pixel 8 Pro. She has the OnePlus 9 Pro 5G. I think it'll be a great upgrade, to be honest. I think that'll be a good upgrade for her. Um, the camera difference is much better. Like, it's going to be way better. And the video quality. Oh my God, if she takes videos. The OnePlus, I will say I didn't like the video quality on there as much. But yeah, I think she'll be very happy with that upgrade. Not to mention, a lot of the new AI stuff is really cool and would appeal to a person that liked if she did use any of the one plus fine tuning stuff from the past, like personalizing your stuff, making it look pure, pretty beautiful, kind of that stuff. The 8 Pro can do that a lot, whereas like even last year's couldn't. That's a lot of stuff from Android 14 and also what the Pixel's bringing. Um, why is Samsung so stingy with the camera upgrades? Was the sale for the Flip 5 good compared to the Flip Fold? Um, Neither one has done as well, but yeah, the Flip 5 is doing better than the Fold 5. The Fold 5 is not doing well. Like Samsung is not going to hit their goal for the Fold 5. It looks like right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I mean I'm not wrong. But I mean maybe they'll pull something before their quarterly earnings report. Maybe they're going to drop it in price, do some sales, do whatever they can to get those numbers up. But the numbers would not be good if they do have to publish those numbers as of today. I'm not putting my license on the phone. I refuse. I'm not handing over my phone to a cop. So how it works is you wouldn't actually hand it over. Essentially, they scan. It's like a QR code for them. They would scan your ID with a new machine um, on your phone screen, kind of like a plane ticket. So you would just show them. It would have a picture of your ID up here, and it have like a QR code kind of thing underneath, and they would scan that, and it would authenticate your identity. So, I mean, I like it better, but hey, I think there's going to be issues no matter what. Uh, Cybertruck and Green Lantern Green. What? Man, Cybertruck still hasn't come out yet. I don't know when that's coming out. Oh, a sunroof allure for a YouTube. Oh man, that's hilarious. Uh, we might be wrapping up pretty early. Question. Yeah. Sounds like big trouble. Yeah, we're planning on trading in car. Yeah, we're planning on trading in a car eventually too. Yeah, man. Just yeah. I will say this: I did find out from my last car. I had like a Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. I got a lot more off of. Uh, I had a friend who had sold before. He sold a car on he through online before, and he helped me with it. He was like, "I'll find a person and everything like that." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, if you can do it, great." And I forgot how much I got now. I'm trying to remember. I think I got like 7,000 or something like that. I thought I was gonna get like, I think the dealerships had offered me like 3,000. So you definitely can get a lot more money if you sell not at a dealership instead of a trade in. It's hard because you're essentially what you have to do for a very short term, hopefully, is you might go up to 3 weeks if you're on top of it with insurance on two cars instead of one, and and essentially, you know, you buy your new car and then you sell your old car. It's a risky move in the sense where you're gonna have double the insurance, and if you don't sell quickly, you're gonna have that. But that's what happened with me. Like I bought the new car. I told my friend, "Hey man, I need to sell this car as soon as I can." He found a buyer within that week, and I said, "Great, let's do it Saturday." Obviously, I worked during the week, and got it done within the week. So within a week, I sold it, and yeah, it was all done. You can pay through Venmo or Zelle, and then the car was paid off, so I had the pink slip was in there, good to go, kind of stuff. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I would be interested in Amazon Prime deals. I would definitely watch it. I hope you would get some rest. Shoot too. Yeah, I'll try to. Uh, all the best deals sounds great, Ricky. All right, cool. I'll probably do it then. Um, did you watch the pay per view? Saw yes, I saw Jay and Cody drunk at the. Dude, Jay worries me. I'm like, dude, you're on a high. Don't mess this up. But obviously, if you know his history, but yeah. You could tell Cody was trying to hold this. Cody reminded me of when I'm drunk because I will try to like, okay, wait, I need to focus. I need to get this done. All right, get it done. All right, all right, we're good. Okay, now I can be silly. Like, like that's what I try to do sometimes when I'm drunk because I'm like, okay, wait, I need to focus for this part, and then I can go back to not caring. So I've done that. I've been there. So yeah, just kind of funny in that sense. But yes, it was hilarious. Do you think next year we might put out a Watch Pro 7 with the rotating bezel? We'll see. I don't know if they'll go back to the Pro moniker. I don't know how well that one sold for them. I think it had more to do with not having the bezel. So I would love a, you know, if you can get 100 more milliamp battery in this and a rotating bezel, I don't care if you call it a Pro, Classic, whatever. I just want that. So yeah, we'll see. Uh, um, let's see. Oh, never mind. I actually did. Ironically enough, I think I had a headache. Um, hey, Mullet Baby. If you see Samsung Galaxy pop-up stores all over the U.S., act surprised. Exclusive deals, colors, and pricing coming maybe or maybe not high-end retail spot near you. All 150. Oh, is it going to be at the Glendale? Is it going to be a new version of the Glendale at one of the Glendale? I would love that. Or heck, I would even love it's closer if you can get Long Beach. But thank you, Mullet Baby. Apparently, Samsung is going to be having pop up stores all over. That'll be interesting. Um, Thank you for all the exclusives, Mullet Baby, as always. Oh, you got some more. Um, Flip 5 has broken even so far, but there might be some amazing holiday deals coming soon. Great. Fold 5 won't break even till Q1 2024. Flip 5 already broke even. Fold 5 won't break even till Q1 2024. Wow. Thank you, Mullet Baby. I knew because of like I have seen desperation in Samsung's marketing team right now with influencers, and not to me, to other influencers, and they tell me. Um, but yeah, I know they're not doing well in terms of Fold 5 sales. I didn't know it was that bad. That's pretty bad. Q1 of 2024, that's bad. Um, so yeah, but Flip 5 already broke even and probably will even do better after the holidays. Got it. Totally agree. Um, Need to upgrade my S10 Plus. Recommendations? No Flip or Fold. Um, for an S10 Plus, I would. I'll see what deals are tomorrow. I mean, there might be some really good deals on some Samsung phones starting tomorrow. So I would say like an S22 Plus if you want, because you want a bigger screen size. I'm guessing since you have the Plus. So I would say an S22 Plus is what the first thing to come to mind. That's last year's mid middle of the high end flagships. And you can probably get pretty good deals tomorrow. I know I was looking at an S22. Let me see. I was starting to put together possible phones to get my brother, and I think I was looking at either the S22 Plus or the Galaxy Flip 4. Um, right now, they're both at around 380 to 400 bucks. I think it was like 406. I want to say for the S22 Plus. So yeah, um, I think those are amazing prices, obviously. So, you know, I think that would be pretty good if you're trying to upgrade. And yeah, they may or may not be testing the S23s on maybe or maybe not Amazon Prime Mobile in and around Denver and Colorado. Interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know Amazon Prime had a mobile division. That makes sense. They may or may not have flipper folds test, and maybe or maybe not have a new AT&T satellite network. Oh, so they're trying to do like a GPS thing, like these emergency things. Let's call them holiday pop-up stores in Simmons Mall nationwide. Leases are signed, managers are hired, staff are offered. Phase from till the first week of January, maybe maybe not. Mullet baby, I absolutely love you for always dropping these awesome stuff. Um, let's see. Lincoln Park was the best in concert. Saw 5 times. Was supposed to see them twice this summer. The summer Chester passed away. Yeah. Oh man, it, when he passed and that song came out, or I don't know if the song came out before he passed, but it had obviously so much more meaning after he passed, and it was just like, oh, that one hit me hard. All right, guys, I think I'll wrap up now. I'm sounding more and more needly, and so just want to let you guys go. But thank you guys for watching so much. Um, I'm gonna probably wake up like at probably go to sleep at. I think maybe I'll try to go to sleep early and wake up like at 3 a.m. Get this best deals video out for you guys, and yeah, we'll call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Please give a like, thumbs up, and hey, if I make that video for deals, watch it, share it with everyone in your family and friends so they get the best deals too, and it helps out the channel. Thank you guys always so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, follow us on social media at YouTube Tech Guy, and check